Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jacoby. So in today's video, we're going to talk about college volleyball and how you can get recruited. So first of all, let's talk about the different levels of college volleyball. There's D1, D2, D3. Mind you, this is all within the NCAA. And then we have the NAIA, we have junior college. There's a bunch of different options that you can take when you're playing college. There's not only one league that you can go into, which I feel like is a common misconception. I feel like people think that college volleyball is one division, aka the one that gets televised the most, which is Division I volleyball, because that is the highest level of play, so to speak. So those are your schools like Texas, Nebraska, Florida, UCLA, schools like that. The really big major schools will have usually the highest level of play, and they'll be at the Division I level. Now you can go down a step and go to Division II. These girls are just as good as Division I players, in my opinion. I've seen it, I played against it, so that is my experience with that. And I feel like D2 is a little bit better sometimes because you can kind of focus more on like your life slash like school, your personal life, whatever it is. And then volleyball, like there's more balance. At the Division I level, like you are playing volleyball all the time. Like that's pretty much all your day is volleyball, volleyball, volleyball. For example, like when I was playing Division I volleyball, I would wake up in the morning like 5 a.m., go lift with the team, go to class for maybe 2 or 3 classes, lunch with the team, practice with the team, try to do my homework when I go home, and then do it all again day after day after day. And then we'd usually travel midweek as well. You're on flights, you're in the airport. It's just a lot of travel, a lot of work, and it's a lot of volleyball. So I really didn't have a lot of time for like my friends. But luckily my friends were my teammates, so we were always there together anyways. But if anyone was outside of that, that'd be very hard to maintain. And then we also have Division III volleyball. Division III volleyball doesn't have athletic scholarships, so that can be a deterrent to some people. But say you're going to a school because you like the major they have, you like whatever reason you like the school for outside of volleyball. It just so happens to be a D3 school. I feel like there's no problem with that because you already like the school to begin with. So I would say, gravitate towards that if that's your thing. Guys, my number one piece of advice when it comes to picking a college for volleyball, don't pick the school for volleyball. Pick it for your major. That is what you're there for. That is what is the most important, is getting your degree on time. Okay, playing volleyball is important, yes, because that may be the way you're paying for school, but it's also important to factor in other things like, location, price, if that is a factor, your major, minors, whatever it is, you have to really kind of make a good informed decision. Now you can also play NAIA volleyball, which is just a different like little sanction, I guess, than the NCAA. I played NAIA volleyball my last year of college, my 5th year, just for funsies. And the level's pretty good. There's a lot of international players in the NAIA, I've noticed, just because they have different rules and regulations than the NCAA. So it's a little bit more lax, I would say. So yeah, it was fun though. You still travel a lot, but it's definitely a lot more balanced, as in like I could have a life outside of volleyball versus volleyball 24/7, especially like out of season, girl. Anyways, we're not here to rant about that. You can also go the junior college route, which I think is honestly smart. I wish I would have done that, to be honest, because it would save me a lot of money. But anywho, junior college is when you go to your local community college, whatever, they have a volleyball team. You can play your 2 years there, but the new rule is, which is amazing, I'm so happy that they did this, those 2 years that you play in junior college don't count towards your eligibility when you get to your 4-year school. Like, round of applause whoever came up with that, because that is amazing. Because I feel like it wasn't really fair that JUCO people had to give up their 2 years even though they weren't even playing in the, so I'm really happy about that. That's amazing. So if you want to go that route, that's a great option, especially if you need more time to develop, if you're not as skilled as you want to be, or your grades aren't where they want to be. That is a great option. Also, it saves a lot of money, okay, because it's a lot cheaper to do your prerequisite classes at a junior college than it is at a 4-year school. Keep in mind that usually junior colleges don't have room and board. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's a little, wishy-washy. Sometimes it's a commuter-only school. Sometimes they don't have a dorm, whatever it is. So you really have to factor in all those possibilities. Now, if you want a full in-depth video on how to get recruited, let me know, because I feel like I haven't mastered it, but I have done it. And I have transferred multiple times. So if you want to know the tea, let me know. But let's talk a little bit about recruiting. So it is spring, meaning that it is like peak volleyball season, as in club season. Everyone's at their big tournaments, the qualifiers, and the big tournaments are about to come up, like the big AAU tournament in Florida in June and May, whatever it is, the USAV, etc. So that is one thing to definitely keep in mind, is that you are in your prime season right now. If you're playing club right now, so you're like a freshman or sophomore in high school, you don't have that too much to worry about. quite yet. All you need to focus on really is your skill and getting it up there to where you want it to be, training, you know, focusing on your grades, etc. Now, I feel like the real recruiting starts like late sophomore year and then junior year and so on. That's like go time, okay? So that's when you really want to start focusing on, okay, I like these schools, A, B, C, D, E. You have a list and, you know, you have them all mapped out, like their location, how much it would cost per year, do they have a major, yes or no, etc. You want to make a list of the schools that you like, and then you want to, you know, write a little pros and cons list for each school. Like, I like this school because of this, and I don't like this school because of that. You know, that's what you want to do. You want to write it all down so you have it in one place. Now, once you have your list, it's kind of easier to reach out to schools, because I know people are sometimes like, oh, I don't want to like email people because I'm scared. You have to. Unfortunately, that is how that works. So when you're recruiting, like, unless you are like, you know, Harper Murray, like you are insanely good that you don't have to do your own recruiting, because they will find you. If you are that good, they will find you. That is how that works. Especially if you're playing club, high school, whatever it is, like they have seen you and you're on their radar already if you are extremely talented. You know, not everyone is that good of a player. I'm definitely not, you know, and that's okay, because everyone can still play D1, D2, you know, there's so many different levels that people can fit into. So if you have to do your own recruiting, who cares? You know, I did my own recruiting and I still went D1, you know, that doesn't, you know, there's so many possibilities out there. You just can't shortchange yourself. Like, there's levels to this, okay? Like, I know as a player, I could not play at Nebraska. Okay, I am not that good. There's no way I could play Nebraska. But could I play at Long Beach State? Maybe. Could I play at Stetson University? Maybe. Could I play at Southeastern Louisiana? Maybe. You know, like those mid-major D1s, that's exactly where I fit into. That was my criteria, and I knew I would play at that level and I would do it well. So that's how I knew what level I was at, because one, like I kind of already had a feeling, because like I just knew my game and I kind of compared it to others. So I was like, okay, like I think I can do that. And I also asked my coaches, my friends, my family, but of course you want a non-biased answer, because you don't want someone telling you, yes, you can go to Wisconsin and you can start. I'm like, girl, no, like maybe you can, that's amazing, but we have to be realistic, because you don't want to shortchange yourself, in the same vein, because at first I did not think I was a Division I player at all. Like, no chance. I was like, no, like I don't think like that is something that is possible for me, because I am a 5'10" middle. Like, I am very short for that position. So I was like, I don't think that's gonna happen. But my coach encouraged me. He's like, you need to reach out, like you know, you never know. And then boom, I was D1. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, you never really know unless you shoot your shot. It's really important to reach out to coaches. You can find their emails on their websites. You really have to do your due diligence though, and research to make sure that you emailed the right person, because you know you don't want your email getting lost in the sauce. And then that's a whole other thing, is like composing your email, making sure that it's good, eye-catching, that your links are all correct, that your information's correct. Like, there's a lot of things that you need to do on the front end. But once you figure out your email, your hook, your links, and you kind of have like a template to send your email in, you're golden, because you can honestly just try to tweak the information and send it out to all the schools that you want to reach out to. But yeah, another little pro tip I would have for like my people who are playing tournaments right now and in their club season, or you're playing in high school, whatever it is, I would just say to make sure that you're always like kind of being cognizant of your body language. That is very important, because you know, if I was recruiting and I see you being like a bad teammate, or your body language is really negative, like you're hanging your head, you're like cursing, whatever it is, that is not a good look. I would definitely try to avoid that at all costs, and just try to be the best teammate you can, and just try to the best of your abilities skill wise. But what you can control is like the internal, your attitude, you know, etc. So make sure to keep that in mind. And if you're even younger than high school age, like you're in middle school, like this is something that you can look forward to and kind of build upon. So when you're in middle school, I mean, obviously you don't really have to worry about recruiting, duh, because you're like in 7th grade. But you know, you can really focus on just honing your skills and honing the basics, and that means serve, receive, serve. Those are the first two most important skills in my opinion, because you can't play volleyball without serving or receiving, right? So those are the two you need to master at first, and then obviously just a pass, set, hit, and then you're golden. And then once you have your basics down, you can expand on each pillar, right? And you can continue to grow and grow and grow and get more specialized, practice different techniques, etc. But yes, I really hope this video helped you guys out. Let me know what you want to see from me in the future. Make sure you subscribe and like this video, because it really helps out my channel. Also, before you go, I just want to say thank you so much for 9,000 subscribers. That is crazy, and I just feel really, really happy, and I'm really proud of myself and how far this channel has come. And I just want to thank you guys for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.